Welcome. This is our town hall for March, and we've been running these town halls on a generally monthly basis to provide some updates and opportunities for live Q&A for topics that we hope are relevant to our members as we go through the continued integration and startup of our new association. Next slide. So I'm Tim Bieri. I'm the current chairman of the board for the Association for Materials Performance and Materials Protection and Performance. Sorry, I get those intertwined occasionally. And we're delighted to have you here. Also on the panel that I have here today, we've got Sam Scatero, who's the vice chair for AMP, and we've got a few other folks from staff that will be here to help us answer questions as we get into that section. We're going to have about 30 minutes of presentation and then should leave about 30 minutes for questions and answers as needed. And we're going to cover an aspect of AMP that is probably relevant to many of you in this session, and it's kind of a walkthrough and a how-to access dual membership and standards and the like from the different legacy organizations. We'll also cover upcoming events and then opportunities, how to stay connected through social media and future webinars, future webcasts. With that, I guess we can go to the next slide. We do have Q&A enabled for this. There's a Q&A tab down generally at the bottom of your window for the Zoom meeting. You can enter those questions there, and we'll take those when we get to that section. Chat's also available, but it's easier to manage in Q&A, and depending on the complexity of the question, we may ask you to come off mute and help articulate it so that we can understand it better. So plenty of opportunities to get your virtual voice in the room today if you have a question that we need to answer. And the questions can be on the topic that we have at hand or general questions outside of the topic. Today, this portion of the meeting is actually been pre-recorded from a webinar that we had last night. Mike Klein, who's a senior director in our customer experience team, is presented how to access different websites, the different websites and the different benefits that you'll get from where we are today and how we're headed towards coming up with a unified platform and system. I guess, Elisa, do you want to start the recording? I don't have any audio on my end.
Been joining us from various parts of the world. As Tim said, my name is Mike Klein, the Senior Director for Customer Experience at AMP. And I'm here to talk to you today a little bit about some of the services that the organization is offering now that we've brought together NACE and SSPC and launched this wonderful new website. We've gotten several questions through our customer service group, and we just kind of want to clear up some blurry areas and show you how to access some of these key features that we're being asked about. So I'm going to do a live demo here for you, and any questions, as I mentioned, please put into the chat, and we'll get to them at the end. To hit on just a real quick point, customer experience is a new role within AMP. It's something that was created because we realized that there's something that we need to be able to do as an organization to make sure that we're giving all of our members and customers a great experience. So we want to dedicate resources to studying that and making sure that we do it right. The emphasis is really going to be on ease of use and providing a frictionless experience is what we like to call it. And we want to make it easy for everyone to do business with us and be happy about it. So initially, we're going to be working on building the program. One of the key facets of that is to review the customer touch points really across the organization. Wherever any of our programs, products, and services touch customers, we want to figure out what they are and analyze that. In 2021, we're going to primarily focus on membership and customer service so we can dig in, get that right, and then roll something that is a proven program out to the rest of the organization. We expect it's going to be an ongoing effort. It's going to take months, probably a couple years before we, get it across the org. But that really is what customer experience is about. So I just wanted to level set there because it is a new role and it's something that we really are going to dive into in the future here, starting today. Today's the future, everybody. Anyway, today we're going to talk about these services. You can see on the screen here. These are some of the hot topics that customer service has been getting since the beginning of the year. Obviously, dual membership benefits is front and center, and we'll start off there. And then we'll hit standards access. We'll talk about the ethics course and the requirement and how to register. Answer some questions about professional development hours. We want to hit on we're going to switch those last two bullets there. We're going to hit on certification access because that dovetails right out of what we do with professional development hours. And then we're going to finish up talking about the Master Painters Institute. So without further ado, Elisa, can I steal a screen from you? We'll share this guy. All right, so if everything went right, you're now looking at the amp.org website. Can I get any nods? Or?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So here we are with the new amp.org website. A little bit of history on this. Internally, we're calling this the bridge site. And the reason we call it the bridge site is it's bridging the gap between the initial launch of AMP this year and the eventual development of our unified presence somewhere in the coming months. We wanted something simple that could tell the story of AMP and what the combination of SSPC and NACE brings to the market. So you can see there are some highlighted topics here on the home page, some news at the bottom. And then at the top, we've set up the site to really go through these key product and program areas such as membership, standards, education, and so forth. And on these pages, as we dive into them, you'll see that there are links to access detailed content on the legacy SSPC and NACE sites. There are three key sites we'll talk about today on those the legacy on NACE.org, SSPC.org, and NACEinstitute.org. The primary reason that we're going to focus on these legacy sites is because right now that's where the information lives. That's where everyone's used to getting that information. And it's going to take some time for us to consolidate into this platform, as I said earlier. So we, again, with customer experience in mind, we don't want to put too many layers between you and the information you need. So we wanted to create something simple. The first area we're going to take a deeper dive into was their first bullet item is dual membership benefits. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run through how to access that through both the NACE and SSPC legacy sites. So first things first, we'll click on membership. And you can see there's a little story here about membership, about NACE and SSPC. And we scroll down to the bottom and you see a box for NACE International and SSPC. So if you are already a member of both organizations, you don't have to do this, you're already set. If you're only a member of one, and there's the dog walking through. If you're only a member of one, what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down to the bottom, and on either side you'll see where it says current benefits, become a member. You're going to want to click on that. And it's going to kick you over to the legacy NACE page. The next thing you'll do, there's a couple ways to get in. We're going to go through this Learn More button. You can also go through the blue login button up here at the top of the top corner of the page. You'll click on Learn More. It's going to take you to a login page. Look at that, I'm already logged in. So we skipped the login step, but trust me, when you click on that button, normally it takes you to a login page. You'll enter your username and password, click Go, and it'll bring you here. This is your membership information page. On the membership information page, it basically tells you about your membership, but down here you see where it says available actions. Access your digital membership badge, view member directory. This is the key one here, opt in for dual benefits. When you get to your membership information page, click that button, and that initiates an action that sends a message to the membership team and tells them that you want to opt in, and they'll process that on the back end. If we had clicked that other blue login button, they would have taken here to this profile page. So if you go through that route, you'll come down here. Once you land here, click on membership, then it takes you over to that membership information page. And the process is really the same, opt into dual benefits. Now, if you're an SSPC member, we'll go back over here. We'll click on the same text on the SSPC block. Takes you to sspc.org. You can either click login at the top corner of the page, or we'll use this red button right here, log in here. There it is. So we'll log in here, email address and password. Log in. There we go. Technology always works perfectly. So this should take you to your My Account page. Sometimes it doesn't. In this case, it didn't. So what you want to do is just hit this login up here. It'll redirect you over to your My Account page. The key is, of course, this is not the My Account page. So now we hit My Account. The key is to get to your My Account page. Because on the My Account page, as you'll see here, here's all the information about your membership in SSPC. And to get, if you're an SSPC member, to access those dual member benefits, just click this red button. It'll kick off the same process. These requests all go to the AMP membership team. They get it in, and it's a manual process because we're taking information out of one system, moving it to the other. The volume has been pretty high initially, so we're asking for up to 5 business days to get you access to those benefits. And after that, that's it. You'll get a notice from our membership team letting you know that you now have access to the benefits. Important to note, if you're not currently a member, when you get here, you can purchase a membership and check out. And then at that point, you can request your dual benefits. Next, we are going to talk about standards access. So we'll go back over here to the AMP.org page and we'll click on standards. Again, the format of the AMP page, you see the story we're telling about SSPC and NACE standards and what we bring to the marketplace. Scroll down to the bottom and you see the familiar blocks with links to the legacy sites. If you are looking to purchase a standard on either NACE or SSPC, you'll hit these purchase standards links. And it'll take you to the respective storefronts where you can add your items to cart and check out. So we'll go over here to the NACE storefront. You'll note it takes you right over to the standards section. And you can see the standards are here for purchase. You'll notice, so for the NACE member benefit, you actually have the option to get, and Heather, correct me if I'm wrong here, you can purchase them, or you get to redeem 2 for free every year. So you can see I haven't redeemed mine yet. If I want to get these free ones, I click redeem for free, and it kicks off a process to allow me to get the standard at no cost. If I want to purchase, I click add to cart. You can see the green box at the bottom tells me it's been added to my cart. You go over here and you see all the good stuff I'm buying, and you follow the checkout process. The SSPC site is similar. We'll go over there now. Purchase standards. If I'm going too fast, please let me know and I will slow down. This takes you over to, you can see I'm still logged into my account from before. It takes you right to the standards page. And so you click on whatever standard you want. You can add it to cart. Now, if you're a member, right now, SSPC membership provides access to standards for free. That's why this says $0. If you're not a member, it'll have a price there. There's 2 ways you can get it though. If you can add to cart and then go through the checkout process in your cart. You can see here I've added a couple before, and then you just click checkout. Or the other option you have is over on the standards page on the Legacy SSPC website. And by the way, please note, whenever I talk about SSPC website, a NACE website, we've rebranded everything AMP. So it'd probably be more appropriate to say the AMP SSPC website and the AMP NACE website, but everything right now is AMP. In any event, to get an SSPC standard, you come to the AMP SSPC website and scroll down. If you're a member, we have this standards download tool where you can sort according to a particular standard, and then come over here on this side, click download, and you'll get the standard. It bypasses the checkout process. This tool also is available for non-members, but instead of saying download, it'll say purchase standard. At that point, if you click that button, it'll kick you through to the checkout process. So that is the story on standards. Next, one of the most popular questions that our first service team has been getting has been around the ethics course. The ethics course is part of the certification program. It is an interactive and on-demand course that's required of everyone holding a certification through the NACE International Institute. So to get there, what we want to do is we want to get back over to the AMP NACE website and get to the certification portal. So to do that, you want to get over to your profile. I have to move some stuff around here. Get to my profile page. When you're on your profile page, you'll scroll down and you'll see my certification portal right here. Hit that. And it brings you into your certification portal. You can see here right in the middle of that page for everyone to see is the Ethics for the Corrosion Professional course. And it explains the new ethics requirement right here. This has been in place since January of 2021, so this is fairly new. In order to register for it, you just go down here to this dark blue button. You hit that and it takes you to the explanation page. Purchase will take you to the shopping cart in the web store, and you can check out from there and purchase it. Then you'll hear from our certification team, where you'll be given access to the online course. The other thing you can do with the ethics course is we will accept third-party documentation. So if you've taken some sort of program through a non-NACE or non-AMP third-party outfit, you can submit that for consideration. To do that, you click the light blue button, and you just go through an upload process to choose the information you want to share with the organization, and then upload it to us, and the certification team will evaluate it. Like I said before, the course is online. It is a self-paced course. It should only take about 90 minutes to complete. We're going to stay here, since we're in the certification portal, to talk about professional development hours, or PDHs. PDHs are used for certifications on both the NACE certifications and SSPC certifications, to track training and experience that you gather as part of your job that you want to put towards recertifying or updating your credential. So one of the biggest questions is, how do we get our PDHs to AMP? And the answer, at least on the NACE side, is through the certification portal. You see on this gray box on the left down at the bottom, it says professional development hours and manager PDHs. Clicking this button will launch the process. You could see here, this was my peer review I took in 1994. It's been some years. So to add PDHs, a lot of people have way more certifications than this. So when you get to this page, you'll see a bunch of certifications. You'll click Add PDHs to launch the process. And then here, you're going to tell what the category is, give it a title, the number of hours, the date it was earned, and click Save Changes. And then that'll be entered into your record in the NACE system. Now for SSPC, we want to get back to our login, which of course I can't see here, so let me move my window. I'll go over here. So for SSPC, you want to get back to my account. And on your My Accounts section on the left side, you'll see Training and Certifications. You'll hit that and then click Submit Documentation. And then you'll go in here and it captures your information and you upload the files here in one of these sections and click Submit. And then that again will get to the certification team for evaluation. If you're wondering who needs professional development hours, if you have a certification, you need professional development hours. That's how we maintain quality and certifications, by making sure that people are studying or trained throughout their career of being a credentialed professional. So that is certification. Quickly again, so let's talk about access to certification. I mentioned that we would jump around a little bit, switch those last two bullets. Accessing your certifications really is, if it's a NACE certification, it's over here in your certification portal. So everything you need to do to get here, if you enter through nace.org and you click on that My Certifications badge, it kicks you over here to the NACE Institute, and then everything is maintained right in here. So you can see all your credentials by clicking these links on the left, and you can just follow through and do all of these processes from PDHs to scheduling exams and so forth. It's pretty straightforward and pretty simple. On the SSPC side, as we showed before, everything is through my account. In the same training and certifications area, you'll just click on history, and it'll show you all the training and certification programs you've completed through SSPC, If you want to look at details like grades and so forth, you click the plus button that tells you when you took it, where you took it, what your score was, how many CEUs, and then you can also download a certificate. So again, it's those account areas on both sites that are kind of the key for all the access to your certification information. Lastly, what I want to hit on and talk about is the Master Painters Institute. The reason we wanted to talk about this is because MPI is something that might be new to a lot of people seeing it here on AMP.org. MPI is a subsidiary of AMP that provides standards, specifications, and training to the architectural and commercial painting industry. The goal of MPI is to raise the performance of paints and coatings produced by manufacturers and applied by painters and contractors, holding them accountable to higher industry standards that are mandated by asset owners, architects, and specifiers in the architectural, commercial, and industrial coatings industries. MPI is the only third-party organization that sets performance standards for commercially available paints, and the standards have actually been adopted by the US and Canadian governments. MPI is also providing education on the quality and application of paint, and developed trademarked decision tree software that aligns the selection of paints coatings to the intended building substrate and service environment. So that's a mouthful. But why is it important? It's important because MPI was purchased by NACE in 2017 as part of their strategy towards serving the commercial and architectural painting industry. And now it's linked to AMP.org because it's a subsidiary of AMP. And it's another key to the puzzle where we've brought together these two organizations that are very strong in corrosion and industrial coatings. And we also have this architectural commercial component that really does make this a one-stop shop for the industry. So we'll click on MPI just to go there so you can see. We tell a little bit of a story about MPI, and we're trying in the future to more tightly integrate the operations of MPI within AMP so we can take advantage of a lot of the synergy we have between the organizations. So on the AMP.org website, clicking on AMP takes you to the info page, and then you can see that MPI also, I guess, is the fourth legacy property that you could take advantage of finding information. So now it seems like it was fast. It felt like I talked a lot and spoke quickly. So just to recap, we've talked about the customer experience role. We've talked about the AMP Bridge website and why we have it and what its purpose is. I went through and showed a few of the key areas where we've had questions from customer service, primarily dual membership standards, the ethics course, professional development hours, and then how to access certifications. And I finished up with MPI. And so I never talk this much, so I'm tired of talking. That's all I have to talk about today. I'm happy to answer questions, and we have the team here as well to answer questions. So if you have them, feel free to post them, and we will answer them for you.
So I'll say virtual thanks to Mike for running through those. Certainly, if you have questions, keep coming in the Q&A piece. The next piece here is around upcoming events. Sam, were you taking that, or you want me to go through it? I'll take it. You can take it.
All you.
Okay, fair enough. Corrosion 2021 is scheduled to happen April 19th through the 30th. It's a 2-week process this year. It's all virtual, both the conference and the expo. Registration's open. The QR code here will take you to that site. Coatings Plus is scheduled to be an in-person conference in mid-December of this year in Phoenix. So nice snowbird place if you're looking to get out of some winter, like from Houston to get over to Phoenix in mid-December. And in 2022, in March, actually just kind of this week in March of next year, the AMP annual conference will be taking place in San Antonio, Texas. So those are the big upcoming conference events that are taking place. Hope to see you at the Corrosion 2021. I guess see you virtually at Corrosion 2021. And then next we have a few pieces on how to stay informed with what's going on inside of the association as we continue to make progress merging the two legacy organizations together. We have town halls scheduled monthly. The next ones are April 7th and 8th. And the topic will be certifications. Certainly active on social media platforms. Probably don't need to explain all those icons, but LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, so you can connect with us and stay informed in any of those platforms that you prefer, or all of those platforms. We also have a YouTube channel as well, but that's less interactive in terms of being able to connect. And we have been sending weekly updates via email. If you're not getting those emails, it could be due to settings on your end in whatever software package you're using, or there's also profile settings that you have in your account that may be restricting those emails. So trying not to overload, but at the same time, we're trying to make sure we communicate across a variety of channels to make sure folks have access to the latest information. And I think from there, we'll probably just pivot into questions, the Q&A. We've got a handful of questions here already. I guess we'll just take them in order, and I may give a shout out to some other panel members here to help me through them. The first question is, if you're a corporate member, does the dual membership benefits also apply? I think, Heather, is that something you wanted to answer?
Thank you, Tim. Yes, dual membership is also available to our corporate members and organizational members. The primary rep for each corporate account was sent notification on how to opt in to dual membership for the company. If you would like to opt into dual membership, that one is not available online, so there's not the opt-in button, but you just reach out to NACE or AMP staff. For the NACE membership side, it is Amber McLeod. And for the SSPC organizational membership, it is Phil Hall, and we will go ahead and process that dual membership for the company. Now, if your company is not interested in the dual membership, you are a representative on that corporate membership, but you would like membership in the other organization, you have the option to opt in as an individual member. So whether your company does it or at an individual level, you're able to access benefits through dual membership by opting in either way. And I hope that was clear.
Thanks, Heather. I think it was clear. Yes is the short answer. There's a couple of avenues to get there. One is through the corporate representative for the particular company. The other is individually if you need to. So thank you. SSPC standards, will SSPC standards remain free to members or will that change in the future? This is a question that we get a fair bit, and we have answered. We do, I guess, need to check whether we've got actual FAQs on this topic or not, but the short answer is yes, that will be changing in the future. The number of standards that members will have access to will be tied to their membership tier. whether that's an individual member or as a corporate member. There are different tiers that bring with it different standards and benefits. The main reason behind changing that process is on the back of some work that NACE did over the course of 2016, 2017, and then made a change, I believe, beginning in 2019, which is standards is a competitive standards development organizations is an entity and competitive industry unto its own. And if we're not maintaining or investing in our standards process, the program essentially will end up withering. So purchasing standards, selling standards is a way to direct revenues directly back into our standards development process. And it's important for us to do that in order to be viewed and maintain our status as a standards development organization, and be competitive with the other organizations that write standards in our area. So ASME, ISO standards, ASNT, ANSI, there's plenty of standards organizations that write corrosion standards as well. And so that's some of the rationale behind the change. I don't know, Bob, if you wanted to add anything to that conversation.
Thanks, Tim. No, I think you covered it really well. The only thing I will add is in the space of standards, it's sort of strange, I think, for people to think of competition, right? That well, what is competition? And the issue, where it really comes from is there are a lot of organizations out in the world that write technical standards. ISO, the International Standards Organization, ASTM, but also ASME and IEEE, and many of them that really would have an interest in writing the standards for our industry. And almost all of those standards organizations charge for their standards, and then they use that money to reinvest back into the standards program to update standards, to make sure we've got them in the right formats and technology that they can be used effectively, that we support the teams or the committees that are writing the standards appropriately. So it really is part of the ecosystem, and we have to recognize that if AMP standards program is not world-class, there'll come a day where our industry won't be managed, or the standards won't be written by ourselves, but they'll be written by other groups. So the one commitment also that we made when we made the decision to start charging standards, and it's been a while back now, was that all of the proceeds or the revenue that comes from selling the standards goes right back into the standards activities. So it's not being used to do other things. It is all going right back to support standards and help us grow and keep those programs best in class.
Thanks, Bob. Next question is on ethics certification required, question mark. So the ethics certification that Mike referred to is a requirement for all new and renewable certifications. In other words, if you're not up for renewal this year, you don't have to do anything about it this year. It will be in force when you do go to renew in the future. Ethics is critically important in how we show up in the market. We also want to make sure that our professionals that are doing work understand the impact that they can have on society, safety, and the environment. So this course was designed to provide some case studies and some real life ethical questions that have come up through our work over the years in managing certifications and ethical, I guess, the ethical principles that we expect from our professionals. This course is, ethics certification is required. I think, as Mike said, this course meets that requirement There is also the provision to, if there are other ethics courses that you may have been exposed to or ethics requirements that you may have been exposed to for other certifications or professional engineering licensure or things like that, there is the avenue to have that material or the content of that shared for evaluation to see if it meets the intent. I hope, Richard, that answers your question. Anybody else have anything to add on the certification piece? Very good. We still have space for other questions. You can type them. You can raise your hand if you want to ask it out loud. We certainly have the right group of people here to hopefully address the questions that you might have. It's a quiet crowd today. We'll kind of give this a going once, going twice type countdown here, as opposed to
Tim, there is one
Sure.
more question that just
Okay.
got read.
Sure. Hi, John. What happens if I do not opt in to the membership? Well, you'll stay you'll have access to the member benefits that you have for whichever legacy organization that you're a part of. So you don't have to opt in, obviously, until such time that we are truly merged together and operating under a single membership management framework. Heather, if you have additional something to add to that, I certainly welcome that thought.
So Tim, I think the only thing I would add for John is that when we do launch our new AMP membership model later in 2021, no matter which legacy organization you are coming from, you will roll into the AMP model automatically. Any time that you have left on your membership term will carry over, and you'll actually carry over at an equivalent or higher rate of membership. So if you don't opt in, there's no issue. And I just wanted to go ahead and clarify that when we do roll all of our members into a single AMP membership model, that there will be no time lost.
Thanks, Heather. And to build on that concept a bit, also, if you are a member of both organizations and up for renewal, you don't need to renew in both organizations. You only need to renew in one, and that will carry forward as we bring them together. Hopefully, John, that answered your question. I'll leave the last one here for Bob, which is, when is the full complete membership merger expected to happen?
We are working with the plan to have it in place by the end of the year, but there are a lot of moving parts. One of the big challenges we have as we are bringing our organizations together are our primary computer systems. We're merging two systems from two different vendor suppliers. SSBC worked with NetSuite and NACE worked on Microsoft CRM, and we need to be able to bring those together. But the team is working to have a single membership in place by the end of the year.
Yeah, we recognize that there's still integration of the different programs. There's integration of the different back office, the softwares that need to happen, and working as expeditiously as we can without creating undue disruption to the systems.
Tim, you're exactly right. This is a bit of a dance in the sense of what you move forward and making sure you also don't create a lot of dissatisfaction or angst for members by doing something that you think is doing good ends up doing harm somewhere else. So it is a dance.
Thank you. Matt, I'm not sure I'm clear on your question. If you opt for dual membership, can you get additional certifications from, I guess, the respective organizations? Certifications, A, is going to be the topic for the next town hall. So hopefully that will be covered at length there in a few weeks. But the intent is to merge where there is overlap in the certification schemes, like in the coatings area, is to merge the certification schemes together and have one going forward as you renew or as we evolve over time. So I don't think the intent is to issue a coating inspector certification for both organizations. If you have one, it's going to be recognized as we go forward as the certification. You know, Sam, maybe you have some thoughts around the certification piece.
Sure. Yeah, so dual membership is completely independent of the certification. So both the legacy organizations are still offering their legacy classes. Some of them are starting to spin down. So for example, coating inspector, you use that, Tim, as an example. The SSPC PCS, PCI, the protective coating inspector classes are going to be sunset, and we're going to be moving forward with the CIP coating inspector program. Now that training program will be modified moving forward. So as the parts of, or as the SSPC previous program is being sunset, the new program is going to be modified a little bit, and the education program committee is working on how that training is going to take place, as well as a certification program committee with how it's going to be administered. So, but yeah, you can still sign up for either training courses. They will still become applicable, and when they get merged into one program, if there is overlapping, if there's not overlapping and you're just looking to go for one, you're always free to do that. So the training programs are available on both the websites. So please, look out for that as to what's coming up, and hope to see you at one of the upcoming trainings soon.
Thanks, Sam. I guess there's a follow-on question here around the sunset of PCI and education classes. And I don't know that we have a hard schedule for when that's going to occur. Bob, I don't know if you want to tackle that question around the sunset of
Tim,
education.
actually, I think we do have a hard
Okay.
sunset. I believe it's April 1st, but I don't know that for a fact. We can get that and get it posted on the FAQs, the actual date, unless Pam Nicoletti happens to be with us today. We will get that and post it as part of the FAQs, but I believe it is April 1st.
Okay, thank you.
I can add a little bit there, Tim, as well. So any of the PCI classes that were posted and people were signed up for, they're going to be given the option to take a CIP class in its place. So if you were signed up for a class, or if you're looking to sign up for a class, and it's going to be after that date, and again, I'm not positive what it is, but I believe it's coming up relatively soon, that it will be the CIP training moving forward.
Thanks, Sam. Bob? Question about the JPCL magazine going away as a member benefit. Sorry, can't tongue-tied. JPCL is a magazine that is owned and published by a third party outside of SSPC was the organization where that was a member benefit, and that will be going away. I think, Bob, you can probably talk to the details there.
Right, I can, and it is going away, but it will be replaced with a suite of products, including Coatings Pro magazine, and the content of Coatings Pro magazine is going to be adjusted. JPCL and Coatings Pro, although they both serve the market, sort of had different content. We're going to be bringing in some of the traditional kinds of content that you found into JPCL and Coatings Pro, but we're also going to be offering a large number of other both print and digital products that JPCL never was able to offer as benefits. So there'll be newsletters, there will be publications, there will be webinars and podcasts, and you can already see the large number of new content that's coming. So although there is one piece that is going away, and as Tim said, that was a third-party publisher, and one of the benefits of the merger that was seen as a benefit of the merger is the organization now has a full-blown publishing operations, and again puts us to really lead the content where we need the content to go as an industry, as opposed as a for-profit company making decisions based on what's best for their magazine or their business. So I really believe it's going to be a benefit. You can go to coatingspro.com and check it out. There's a lot there. So you're not losing anything, you're gaining a lot. Hey, Tim, one more. I did text with Pam Nicoletti, and she did confirm it was April 1st for the PCI course sunsetting.
Okay, great. Thank you.